Hey YouTubers, welcome back. Okay, first and foremost, I just would like to thank all of my subscribers thus far. You know, this is a new channel, so I really do appreciate all the subscribers. I'm very grateful that my readings are resonating with people. And also, thank you for the emails, the kind words, and also, the orders for readings. I do that. So if anybody's needing a reading or wanting a reading, you can trust me. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to tell you the truth, and I'm also going to help you. So you can trust me with that. I'm not that reader. No, I am not. I'm not the one. I know what it's like to be lied to by readers for a long time. And looking back now, I'm like, really? Yeah, I don't screw with people's lives like that. So, and trust me, all the stories that you guys have been sending me and telling me about, and you're resonating with my topics and my story. And you know what? If I could just change the way people view love and see love in relation to other people, I would. And if I got to do it one at a time, I will. I got a lot of miles left in me, so I know it sucks. It does. It really does. But everything happens for a reason, and everything is designed in the way that it is. And the unfolding of the changes that are taking place now, and more people becoming awakened and enlightened to their spiritual side. And your spiritual side is how you feel. What do you bring? What do you bring here? You didn't come here to be programmed to just work, make money, and pay bills. I wouldn't even have came here if that was what I was going to be doing. I'd have been like, no, I'm good. I'll stay here. Wherever that was. I know I didn't decide to come here to do that every single day of my life. Work, to make money, to pay bills. Say it to yourself. Is that what you do every day? Then you need to come and see me. Trust me, okay? So, what's this video going to be about? Well, I already was intuitively guided, which was like, right now, do it right now. Procrastinator. But, and let me just touch on procrastination. Procrastination is perceived as laziness. When someone procrastinates to do something, it's because they don't have a either definitive decision on what it is that they want to do, or it just doesn't feel like it's the right timing. And then things work out just as planned in the exact moment that the person has the drive in order to do what it was that they were procrastinating about. Think about it. Is there anything in your life that you have ever procrastinated on? And the reason you procrastinated on was because it wasn't the right time. And everything worked out just as it was supposed to, even though you procrastinated. There's a difference between procrastination and laziness. Laziness has no drive. There are no desires to do anything. Procrastination is the energies aren't in alignment yet in order to do what it is that you want to do. And as soon as it hits you, even though you were procrastinating, it gets done. Right? Yeah. Talk to a master procrastinator. I know all about it. But every single time, it doesn't matter what it was or what it is, I immediately had that intuitive decision to do it. And it was right. It was the exact right timing. So let's talk about divine intervention. That's what this topic's about. What is divine intervention? Is that even real? Why can't it be real? I'm the one that's like, why can't anything be real? I told you, I'm out there. And honestly, I'm a thinker. Think about everything. Sometimes to death. And there is nothing else to think about with that, but I will try to find a way in order to think about it even more. Yeah, it's called a problem. That's a problem. But what is it? What's divine intervention? I know what it is because it's happened to me more than a few times. I'm sure that it's happened to most, if not all, at one point in time in your life, where you just thought that that was weird, or it was a coincidence, or something that wasn't a thought, that it was maybe something outside of yourself that was keeping you or protecting you or guiding you to where it was that you needed to be, and you were fighting against it, even though what you believed and your desire was in alignment with what you were doing. But then circumstances outside of yourself kept you from going that way because it was the wrong way. Or circumstance where you were maybe with the wrong crowd or the wrong person, or what people like to say, at the wrong place at the wrong time. The thing is that time is just time. It's moment to moment. It has nothing to do with it being the wrong time. It's the only time. There's no right time, there's no wrong time. It's just existing. You just exist in time. Again, I say this all the time. By the time that you are listening to this video, and I don't know when that will be, by me recording this, this is my time, space, reality moving moment to moment. When you're listening to this, it is your time, space, reality moment to moment. Right? See, I told you, think outside the box a little bit there. I'm not even going to get into the Mandela effect right now, but think about that. It makes you like all weird, like, really? Yeah. Well, it's true. It does. It happens. It happens all the time, and people notice it, yet they don't know. They're like, this is weird. Yeah. Is it weird? Or is it real? Divine intervention is real. And I'm going to tell you why. If you're headed down the wrong path, okay, you can, this is for anybody, but, we can specify it into, say, a twin flame, okay? Because people love to talk about this. And if you didn't listen to my twin flame video the other day on what a real twin flame is, then you need to listen to that. Because I'll break it down for you for real. Okay, I have nothing to sugarcoat here. I eat sugar all day long. I love sugar, but I'm not coating anything in it because I'm eating it all. So the thing is that, if you're headed down the wrong path, but your desire's there and your belief's there that you're going to do this, okay, so you are in alignment with yourself. But, the divine intervenes in order to not allow your plan that seemed to be in motion go the way you want. It's because that wasn't the way that you were supposed to be going, even though you believed it, right? The belief was based off of what other people think you should be doing. And you were doing it based off of social standing in a way to feel achieved. Yet there was something missing within that achievement. It wasn't something that truly made your heart and soul sing with joy. It was something that made you money, and it was something that was going good for you, and an opportunity arose, and you were like, I'm going to head down this path, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to make more money, and that money is going to make me happy. Yeah. So I know divine intervention is real because I had that all taken away from me outside of everything that I was in control of. So I'll give you a little story. Think about your life and think about things that were taken away from you, yet you don't understand how it even happened. Where are you now? Are you doing what it is that you truly desire? Maybe you were being pushed that way. I know for a fact now that I was, because here I lie, doing what it is that I do now, and it wasn't anything even close to what it was that I was doing. So I was a hairstylist for over 10 years. I had a hair salon. And the owner of the building that I was leasing from in the city was selling it and offered it to me because I had my business running out of it. Why not buy it? Because now I have my business and, you know, I'm gaining equity and, you know, I'm not just throwing my money into leasing the spot, it's actually my spot, right? Sounds great. Been doing it for a while, and this was like the 5th or 6th year that I had my salon, so I was like, yeah, like, let's do this thing, right? So they were trying to fast sale me, and how it lined up is I think about it to this day, and I'm like, everything happens for a reason. I'll be damned if someone says it doesn't, because I live in it, okay? So I'm clearly going down the wrong path. Like, this isn't the right path, even though this is the path I've been on for a while. Like, I've had my hair salon, and I just moved locations, which was like 2 blocks from where I was, to be closer to other, you know, things in the city. And I literally just moved and like redid a whole inside of a building to have my salon, okay? So now I get this opportunity. I'm like, everything is lining up, right? It's lining up. So they're trying to fast sale me, meaning within like a 2-week period. They already are like, we have a guy at a bank that we know lined up, and it's a new bank, and they have money to, you know, loan to new commercial lender, or yeah, commercial, you know, they're going to lend it to commercial buyers, and, you know, we have everything set up here. Now they're using their own real estate person who was not even a commercial realtor. They were a residential realtor who weren't doing it anymore. They like owned a deli or something. Yeah, just signs all over the place. So signs go along with this. Okay, there's like clear indicators everywhere. So I run into a friend of mine who is she works at a bank, but she was moving to a new bank because she got a promotion to be the vice president and do commercial loans. So she said, I would totally do this with you, but I don't know when I'm going to start working there. But if I do soon, you want me to contact you? I was like, yeah, absolutely. Like, contact me. Like, you know, if it's still going down and it didn't go through, you know, yet the whole deal, you know, definitely I want you to help me. So I had a meeting with the landlords and their real estate agent, okay? And it was at a place that was like a block away from me, like literally like right by my place. But my client was running late, okay? So she got there like 15 minutes late. So of course I'm going to take my client, like I'm running a business here, okay? And she was running late. So it pushed me back to my meeting, you know, by maybe 10 minutes or so. And the real estate lady comes in. I say real estate with air quotes because she's not really, she's just their friend. You own a deli and it's after lunchtime, so like chill out. Like, I'm open. So she comes in and she's like, are you almost done? And I'm like, yeah, I'm almost done. Now my client is like apologizing. I'm like, you're fine. Like, you don't need to apologize to her. Like, she can freaking wait, right? I said, I'll be over soon. So she leaves and I'm finishing up, and all of a sudden my other stylist is in the back room doing a pedicure, and all of a sudden starts ripping everything out of the room, and the client's like running out. I'm like, what is going on? And she's like, the ceiling is leaking like water. And I'm like, what? And then it started like coming like a lot. Like, it wasn't like drip drip, it was like a flood, okay? So I was like, well, I'm headed over there right now. I'm going to tell them about this because they need to fix it. So of course I tell them, and they're like, oh, we'll call so and so, he'll come fix it. Well, I find out they're not fixing that. It's been like that for like a while, okay? Hello, if you have to put a Band-Aid on something more than once, okay, more than twice, that's well over the amount of time, especially with a roof, then maybe you should get it properly fixed. They were pouring plaster into the roof where it was leaking, and not properly replacing the shingles or anything. So, okay, I'm not a scientist. I'm not a contractor. I don't build houses or anything like that. But I'm using common sense here. If you are pouring water-based plaster into a hole that has built up old plaster in it, because you've done this at least 10 times, when it's raining, it's seeping water in it, breaking it apart, and now we're leaking again. Cause and effect. There's one right there. Sign. It was a sign. It was a sign. Okay, we got signs all over the place, right? I'm still not seeing a sign. I'm like, fixed roof. Okay. Well, I don't find this out till later that that's what we're doing. Because my friend who actually owns a business and he actually does this, looked at it and told me this. Okay? So, signs. My friend, not even 24 hours later, calls me. She starts working that Monday. I said, absolutely yes. So now she's in contact with their real estate person. And they also have the same name. Just a funny coincidence. Because they're not getting along. Of course, they're not getting along. Because they wanted to fast sale me. Well, I wanted the city to come in and inspect the building. Well, you don't need the city to come in and inspect the building. I know that I don't need to have the city come in and inspect the building. I want them to. Because guess what happens if the city comes in and inspects the building while I own it? I get fined. It's not a necessity. It's not needed in order to purchase it. I get that. But at the end of the day, that's what's going to be done before I purchase it from you, because I'm not going to have that fine hanging over my shoulders, right? Sign. So then there's this appraisal process. We're choosing our appraiser. You know, we're pricing people out. Well, now we're dragging our feet. This is what the real estate agent's saying to my friend. You guys are dragging your feet. You're not taking the sale seriously. Like, we already had everything set up for her or whatever. She's like, well, that's too bad, so sad. I'm working with her now. And we're going to take the proper steps in order to make sure that this sale is done correctly. Because I'm not going to leave my client with a bill hanging over her head because there wasn't things done properly. No shit. Signs. There's signs everywhere. So, 2 weeks before this would have been finalized, me and 2 other stylists are working together in the salon. And all of a sudden you hear this crash and bang. And my friend slides open the door to the back room. And there's another door that goes down into the basement. Sewer pipe busted. And there was sewer, city, everybody and their mamas, you know what, flooding the basement. At least 4 feet high. Oh, yeah. I immediately get on the ringer. I'm like, like to the landlord, like, really? Like, the sewer pipe busted. I call my friend, and she's like, we're done here. You're not buying this building. I said, yeah, you're right. I'm going to take this as a sign. So, I'm sitting at the desk. This is a few days later, and here comes the landlords, and they have a lawyer with them. And he's looking in the basement at the damage, and, you know, there's just so much of the story. I'm not even going to get into that, but I just wanted to tell you how shady people are, and how the signs and divine intervention, and this was an affirmative, flighty thing to say to someone, yet it was meant to be said to me, so that I knew what kind of people I was working with. She says to me, oh, this is just terrible that this happened. But, you know, it's better off that it happened this way. You know, it's a good thing you didn't buy it beforehand. I'm thinking to myself, yeah, that's not what you're thinking, lady. Like, you think I'm stupid? Let's be real. I've always had high intuition, okay? So I can already intuitively pick up on liars, and I can intuitively pick up on shady-ass people. And I wasn't seeing the signs because I was focused in getting what it is that I wanted, okay? And the signs were happening around me, nudging me to pay attention. So then I got this affirmation. You know, it's a shame this happened. You know, we've been putting money aside for years because we always knew something was going to happen to that pipe. We just didn't know it was going to be to this extreme. She didn't even know she said that to me. I guarantee you she had no idea what she had just said. And I leaned back in my chair and was like, for real? Well, ain't that a bitch? Because it didn't happen to me. I'm just going to share a little bit of information with you. I would have bought that building and fast sailed and my friend didn't get the freaking job, I would have used their people in order to get the sale done because I wanted the money to be able to pay towards the building. $18,000 out of pocket I would have had to have paid to fix that pipe. Divine intervention. No, you're not meant to do this. No, you're not buying this building. It's going to break. No, this isn't the path that you're to be on. The reason I lost my hair salon is because they would not pay to have a commercial cleaning business come in and power wash the basement. They were using damp rid and air freshener, patchouli scented, patchouli. I'm not even, my mom loves patchouli. I think it smells like ass. Moss. Ass and moss. Ugh. That's what, okay. Of all the scents, that's what you picked. We could have went with freaking vanilla, okay? Patchouli. Now I'm like signs. There's another one. I just made that one up. For real. They're taking baking soda and like dumping it all over the floor in the basement to try to cover up the sewer smell. Mm-hmm. Well, do you know what was happening? I had to obviously turn on the heating system when it started to get colder out. We're getting sewer smell in the salon coming up through the air vents. City sewer smell. Use your imagination. 5 months later, I was in the hospital with carbon monoxide poisoning because they wouldn't fix it. They were trying to cover it up, but not fix the real problem. Sewer gas, whether or not you can smell it, contains like 7 or 8 different types of gases, one of them being carbon monoxide. After breathing it in for well over an extended period of time, even though I would leave, obviously, and have fresh air, being in there and not being able to smell it all the time, and the times I could smell it, I would contact them and be like, yo, it stinks. Like, this is a hair salon. It smells like sewer. Like, for real? I'm paying you for what? Then I got carbon monoxide poisoning. Yeah. It was over. It was over. And that's when I started being pushed on to this path. That was the divine ripping me out of the materialistic world. Because that's not what I was meant to be doing. I was not meant to do that. I was meant to do it for the extended period of time I did because I learned so much working with the public. When they say a hairstylist should be paid more, they should, because they're more like a therapist. People are just spilling their guts to you. You put some highlights in someone's hair, they will tell you more things than they would tell freaking their own partner or their mom or anyone for that matter. I knew things about people that no one knew about. I was the only one in their whole entire life, and I do your hair. You know? It's crazy. It's crazy. But yeah, divine intervention. 150% for real. Another divine intervention, you know, you're just out with the wrong people, just in the wrong crowd. And then something happens, and that crowd, it's no longer your crowd, you know? Where you needed to be woken up to what it was that was going on around you. Whether it was something that maybe you felt was wrong or something that was hurting you, but it really, like I said, the divine's not malicious. Your angels aren't malicious. Your higher self are not malicious energies. You're always protected. But again, if you don't call and ask for help, you can't be helped. Because you have free will. And you have to ask for the help in order to get the help. But if you're fighting up against something and doing something that you're not meant to be doing, twin flames, you trust and believe when I tell you that the divine will intervene. and you'll be banging your head up against the wall, wondering why this is happening to you, your whole entire world and life. And I know, for the for real twin flames out there, you know what I'm talking about. Your whole entire life looks nothing like it did. It just doesn't. And you just see things so much differently. But divine intervention played when I was planning a trip not too long ago. It was already planned, and it didn't hit me until, like, literally earlier that the two friends who I went with when I actually connected with the twin flame for the first time were the same two people that I was to go on this trip with, where they would have been. And I was going with the mentality of unfinished business. Not like I'm going to go tell him how it is or anything like that, but more or less like I need to talk to him because we need to clear this up or whatever. And we were planning on going on this trip, and one by one, not me, the other two people, things outside of themselves that they could not control happened, and they couldn't go. So obviously I'm not going by myself. But I couldn't go based off of others who were unable to go because of things that happened outside of them. And they were the two people that the divine used to get me to him. And they used energies outside of them in order to stop them from taking me there. It's real. It's real. They were like, no, you're not going. No. It's not time. You can't fight up against this. It's not up to you. I say that to twins all the time. Nobody can tell you when you're going to have union. It's not up to you. The only thing that's up to you is to get onto the mission that you came here to do. And you intuitively know what it is. So once you start and you start going, you're not only doing yourself a service, you're doing the people who need help a service. And you're doing your counterpart a service. You're illuminating, you're bringing light to the situation. And they have no choice but to wake up. That's why they met you. You woke up when they met you, or when you met them, like you woke up. But so did they. And if they didn't wake up immediately, the divine did something in order to make sure that they woke up to it. Trust and believe. I know it. It's my whole entire life is the Truman Show. It's a comedy. It's a horror slash comedy slash psychological thriller. Yeah, if anybody ever wanted to write a book, oh Lord. It's just, I don't care anymore. It's like, what do I got to hide? Nothing. 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 So, but yeah, that's divine intervention. It happens. The divine will intervene in your life when you're headed down the wrong path. And I don't care who you are. If you're a twin flame, trust me, yeah, and I'm sure there are people out there that are on their spiritual path that can say, oh yeah, this stuff happened to me. Like something outside of myself totally ripped my life apart. I couldn't even understand what the hell was happening. And you learned a lot of lessons throughout that whole process too. And it continued to be learned until you got onto mission, and you still learn. There's no endless time. Like I said, time's moment to moment, but there's endless lessons to learn and endless things. It's infinite. You're infinite. We're infinite beings. We live in an infinite world and an infinite universe, and it's the limited beliefs that keep people stuck. I'm here to change that. Yeah, for certain. That's what I'm put here for. I already know it. I'm doing it. I'm here to get people back to pure unconditional love, which starts with your beliefs. And your beliefs lie within you. So stop looking at others in order to validate you. It's the wrong way. When you're doing things in order to please others or prove a social standing or, rise to the top. I got to rise to the top. I got to make the most money. I got to keep going and going. I got to make money. I got to look good in order to prove myself. No, I'm sorry. Don't work that way. It might work that way for some, but they're not happy. They're examples. Yeah. You get to the top by following your heart. And everybody's top's different. Always. The top of your mountain is different from everybody else's top of their mountain. But we are co-creators here. And we are all here in order to live together. And it's not to be in the way that it is. But things are really starting to change. And people are noticing it. And people are getting the signs and the symbols from the universe. And I love it. I do. I love when someone comes to me and says, what does this number mean? And I'm like, yes. Because that means you're starting to wake up. So, yeah. If anybody ever had a divine intervention, let me know. I'd love to hear about it. Because, it happens. And maybe you can resonate with a situation in your life after hearing this. Something that you couldn't explain, you couldn't understand why this happened to you. Maybe it made you feel bad for a little bit. Maybe you couldn't understand, but understand that it happened for a reason. Yeah. It was taking you away from a path that you shouldn't have been on. It wasn't the right one. Or there was something lying at the end of that path that wasn't going to serve for your higher self and your higher good. So the universal energies work together in order to put up situations outside of yourself so that you couldn't do it. They knew you could personally do it. They knew that I was in alignment with this, but that wasn't what I was. That was the wrong way. Gotta love it. So yeah, I was intuitively guided to put this up, so I hope it resonates with someone. I hope someone enjoys it. And again, thank you so much for this. Subscribe, like it, share it. I'm technologically not that, like some of these people in here, like, they're, like, floating, and there's, like, universe in the background. I see that all the time in my head. I don't know how to put it out here. But, like so cool, and I'm like, well, I'm just chilling in a chair. I don't know. I'm technologically challenged. So it will grow, it will progress as we go along, baby steps, right? So let's just be grateful that they're recording and they're uploading. And I know how to put a label on it and a little paragraph. That's like a huge step for me, okay? I'm proud of myself. I'm serious. I know it's sad, but come on. I get used to one certain type of technology. I'm straight with that until the damn thing breaks. I am not buying a new phone to learn new things with it, to play around with it for half of my, days in order to make a phone call. No. Not until the thing decides I'm not going to turn on anymore will I go buy a new phone. That's just me. It's just how I am. Everybody's different. I know some of my friends are up. They're sleeping outside in a tent to get the new phone. I'm sleeping in my bed, and I'll get the new phone in the next 5 years, which will probably still be an old phone at that time. And I'm all right with that. Everybody's different. I'm just saying, I don't judge. That's me. So the point to this is, let's be grateful that the damn things are recording and going up, okay? Because I'm going to be coming back with what everybody loves the most, relationship readings, okay? I haven't decided how yet, which ones I'm going to do. We'll see. It'll be a surprise. So I'm going to upload this now, and I'll be back. Whenever you watch this, that's your day, but there'll be videos up in regards to relationships. So we'll see what's coming. Thank you guys. Love ya.